Back here again with YCS Sydney 2019. We did luckily get another feature match. Unfortunately, they're halfway through, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's alright. So we're going to a match between previous featured player Cameron Aiezza playing Prank Kids versus player from South Africa, Elton Zhang.
To my understanding, Cameron was the winner of game one, and they're about to go to game two. They've already decided. They're ready to go. So we're good to go now. So hopefully the judges give them the direction.
And that they maintain the amount of time they had when they finished game one.
So 18 minutes left on the clock. So since Cameron was the winner of game one, I assume that Elton will be on the play, but actually he's not. He has let Cameron go first.
Yeah, and Cameron did open the red reboot, which is awkward now.
So he'll pay 1,000, probably summoning a rocket, yes.
Elton's playing Trickstar. He's it's probably why he has a red reboot and to stop the reincarnation plays. Elton is, unlike Chops playing the Drawn Lockbird, he's also maining 2 copies of Cyber Dragon, which he can probably use to make Chimera Tech Mega Fleet Dragon, but I do believe the Prank Kids monsters can
they can contribute to resolve their effects as a quick effect, so they'll be able to avoid that situation, which is good for Cameron, and also good for Cameron here. He's up a game and has opened well. He's going to be able to start off his Prank Kids combo. I've already seen a fusion spell in his hand. He's now using is that Lampsey's effect to do 500 damage to his opponent and then summon another Prank Kids from the deck.
Yep.
And then
Dropsies.
And then he has used Doodle Doo to add a spell.
He's used Dropsies and Doodle Doo to summon Bow Wow.
So he'll use Dropsy's effect to gain 1,000 life points, and then again summon another Prank Kids monster from the deck.
When the deck starts going, it keeps going.
Very good deck. Very good link deck.
Yeah. It's like once you get the ball rolling, it just gathers no moss.
And the reason this deck is a YCS Championship deck. Is the other card in his hand the Prank Tops, by any sense? The Dino Wrestler Prank Tops?
Yeah, so we see here that Cameron has sided, assuming he would go second, but then Elton has made the tactical decision of actually letting his opponent go first. Now, yeah, hoping his opponent would side and open a weird assortment of cards.
Yeah, that's definitely worked for him in his favor. A good strategy. I've seen Ash Blossom has been used from Elton a bit previously. I think that may have been used on the Doodle Doo. That's why he doesn't have the extra spell card in his hand. That's why he was forced to use the Quick Play spell he already had in his hand. I think that's a Roxy's now on the field, and the Rocket can be activated to summon back 2. So he's choosing Bow Wow and Doodle Doo.
Yep.
And I believe he hasn't used Doodle Doo's effect this turn, but he may just hold it because I think it's gaining attack points, or he is using its effect now to add 2 back to the hand.
Definitely both cards he wants. He wants the Fusion Spell, and
the Trap card. So very good there. The Trap card's the one that lets him link at spell speed 2 effect during his opponent's turn.
Cameron showing again how expert he is with this deck.
So now that since Elton let Cameron go first, does that mean he would have obviously decided to go second? Does he have evenly matched? He does.
He does.
So if he has open evenly matched here, this could get very ugly for Cameron.
He also has Twin Twisters, Prankentops, Lancia, and Ghost Bell, which is also really good.
And Call by the Grave comes down to negate the Bow Wow after it tries to add 2 Prankins back to the hand.
That hurts a lot.
Call by the Grave, a very powerful card against the Prankin strategy. I see Engage, Cyber Dragon, another copy of Call by the Grave.
Yes.
So this game is actually turned off the activation of 1 card. Like Cameron's left with 1 monster, and if that goes to the graveyard, he may not be able to make any more plays. Yeah. I don't think he can activate his Fusion Spell or his Trap card to be able to link summon anymore.
At least I like to see these games that go back and forth, that both players get to show off their decks. That's what we like to see here.
So, good assortment of cards there in the Trickster Scar Striker strategy. He's adding the Hornet Drones to his hand. So he'll look to probably make a link play here where he can add back that Engage and use it again.
Gagari, yep. I believe that's what his deck likes to do. However, it conflicts with the Cyber Dragon in his hand, to be honest, because he can't use Cyber Dragon and Engage at the same time.
It's true, and then he probably have to do it first, and then he then obviously can't summon the Cyber Dragon.
He becomes a the Sky Striker Race token, that's the one.
He's got his own one there, so he doesn't have to use the one provided by the feature match table.
Gugari adding back Engage.
So he will use that Engage, or will he hold it, do you think?
Depends
what other targets he has.
He's going to evaluate what he has.
How many copies of Widow Anchor? He plays 3 copies of Widow Anchor.
He's got heavy. He's got a list similar to Chop. He's got heavy Sky Strike. He's got 3 Mind Control in the main, 2 Scapegoats, only 2 Fodder Desires.
So he has a Lycoris, Thunder Dragon, Call by the Grave, and Engage in hand. So he's deciding instead of using Engage, he's going to hold it for next turn probably. He's summoning the Lycoris, maybe to get some damage in. So Roxy's unfortunately will not be able to summon another one from the deck because it has to be linked.
If he had elected to not use... you can't use Cyber Dragon and Hornet Drones, it's rough.
Yeah, he opened 2 sides of the same coin.
Do you think having Cyber Dragon in his hand as dead weight is going to cost him later, or do you think it's not going to be? Do you think it's going to let him recover when his board?
I think it's still okay. So if something gets summoned like a Boros Dragon or something later in the game and it doesn't end the game, or a
Yeah.
Borolo Dragon, which I assume Cameron is playing both.
He's playing both.
So if any of them hit the field, it'd be good to have that Thunder Dragon to be able to out it.
The Pankatops is now live in Cameron's hand.
Ooh, so now the side decking coming back with the set card, potentially a trap card, which I'm not sure if it is.
So that red reboot and the Pankatops aren't doing too well for Cameron. He's still got his going second cards in, and he was forced to go first. Tactical decision by Elton is paying off.
And he only has one Prank Kids monster access right now, so he can't get an engine going. Even though he has the fusion spell and the trap card, he can't actually get anything going. So he does special summon that Prank Drops, the most popular side card of the weekend, I believe.
Yeah, it really is. There's 3 copies of each in both players' deck, side deck.
And considering Elton chose to go second, he probably also has them in his deck as well.
Elton playing from South Africa. South Africa is part of the European territory. They do play with European cards.
So we're going to see the full effect here of Prank Drops being able to attack over a monster, then potentially use its effect to destroy either the set spell and trap or the Lycoris, or even just leave it on the field like we saw in the other match against Dino Miss, where it just put a lot of pressure on staying on the field.
However, without using Ray, losing Shizuku doesn't get a floater back. He drew Candina for turn. That's a huge draw. He's normal summoning that Candina.
And little does he know, those 3 face downs for Cameron aren't doing much against this. So he's going to be able to pick apart that back row one card at a time using his light stage effect.
On top of that, he can also link them away to be able to make a link monster to clear his main monster zone and have both of his engages live.
So looking very good for Elton in game 2 after losing game 1.
It's tactical declaring second. However, there is 11 minutes on the clock. That might be a factor later in the game.
Well, both decks have the ability to manipulate life points without going to the battle phase.
Yeah, so that's really they're on equal grounds there.
So adding another Lycoris. So obviously he's still under pressure trying to deal with that Prank Tops, as it is able to destroy anything on the field at any time.
Yeah. He's looking at that card in his hand. He hasn't projected that the card's not very good. He's been able to wait at every stop to make sure that he might bluff a hand trap.
Yeah. Just trying to make Elton earn it, basically, making him think a lot more about the plays rather than just letting him do as he pleases. You got to put a lot of pressure under your opponent if you can in these situations, because there already is a lot of pressure on your opponent.
Yeah, so who are you going for? Are you going for the girls or are you going for the kids?
I did affectionately play Trickstar at Oceanics and did quite well with it, so I do enjoy the deck. But I always love seeing Prank Kids, and it's a deck I'm probably going to play in the future.
Yeah, I mean,
so
after YCS, it's a great time to start playing fun decks. You're relaxed for a bit. You don't have any high stakes tournament for a while. You can just take it easy and play something you enjoyed playing.
I'm just glad we're having a good back and forth game here where both teams, and he's top decked the Palace, which will Place or Palace?
Palace, I believe.
The one that lets him now be able to add another
monster.
Prank Kids monster from his deck to his hand, so his plays will now be able to continue. But as we saw in a recent match with Trickstar, the chorus, 2 of them on the field, and the field spell, every time he tries to add a card, he will be taking a lot of damage.
800. Now he's going to take another 800. Palace's card that we did not see the last time we featured Cameron, but he was still able to play without it and win.
So, adding the Lampsies here, and I think his other Prank Kids monster in hand is a Dropsies.
Yep.
So he's going to, again, be able to manipulate that life point. So even though he's going to be taking some damage from the Lycoris, he's going to be able to gain some of it back by using Dropsies effect.
Do you find it interesting that he hasn't used Pankatops to destroy one of the Lycorises to reduce the amount of damage he's going to be taking?
Yes, I believe he may be trying to keep the pressure on the board, because it is a 2600 monster, and it's not easy for Trickster to deal with big monsters straight away. And that face down for Elton has still been there for the last 2 turns, so I wonder what Cameron thinks it is. So summoning the Weather.
Weather Painter, Weather Washer?
Weather Washer, I believe it's called.
Weather Washer. Weather Painter is another archetype, yeah.
And then he's chain linking, using the Place or Palace. I need to make sure I say that one correctly.
Place. Oh, it's actually Place.
It is Place. So Prank is Place. He's going to use his effect. I think it boosts all of his monsters by 500 when he fusion summons a Prank Kids monster.
Yep.
He's also going to use Lampsy's effect to do 500 damage to his opponent and summon a Prank Kids, as well as Dropsy's effect to gain 1000 life points back and summon a Prank Kids. So looking very good again for Cameron. So it's just gone back and forth twice.
He's recovered his life points just a little bit over. He's only just 600 under what he was last turn.
But even though he has Roxy's on the field now, I don't believe he has a card in hand, so he won't be able to resolve the effect, which may not be the worst thing.
The problem with Trickstars is they don't actively do enough that Lycorises only sit there doing residual damage. They don't float, they don't negate, they don't apply pressure on the opponent.
You don't get as much value out of Licorice when it's just on the field. It's more about the burn damage rather than trying to get any more value out of the card after that point.
So they do require the rest of your cards to be very strong to be able to get you ahead, and then Licorice will close that gap between your opponent's life points and losing. So yeah.
The upside to Elton here is he has 4 cards in hand, and 3 of them are a Candina and 2 copies of Engage. Sky Striker Engage.
Yeah, I think he will summon the Cyber Dragon immediately, and
would you resolve Engage first?
possibly. There's multiple lines of play. If you summon Cyber Dragon, you either force the Panktops or you force the Weather Washer to activate. The Weather Washer will protect all his guys from being destroyed by card effects that turn, right?
I think that's possibly the Bow Wow. I think the Weather Washer is the battle one.
Yep.
So he's also got the trap card face up on the field now, which is interesting, which means he's going to be able to link summon during his opponent's turn as well.
After some deliberation, Cameron has
Pot of Desires off the top of the deck for Elton there. So he's got a lot of power cards in his hand right now.
5 cards, but then that could soon be like 7, 8 cards.
If he decides to it's a risk play here, because if he decides to activate Desires first, which he's gone for the Cyber Dragon first, so this will either force the Weather Washer or the Prank Top, so he's decided to force the Weather Washer.
Oh, now he can't use his engages. Maybe he has another plan.
I believe he's going to Candina, search for the field spell, and then potentially make a Link 2 play with a Cerberus. Oh, but Call by the Grave comes down and hits the Weather Washer again. So that's twice now. Call by the Grave has stopped the effect of a Prankins monster being able to bring monsters back.
But is it enough?
And now with 7 minutes left on the clock and a Candina landing, this game could go anywhere.
Yeah, it could go either way because there are the end of match procedures for top card are very different from the ones in Swiss. They will still have turns to play after time is called.
So Candina will possibly add a Lilybell he's looking at here. I believe I would add the field spell, be able to make a Link 2 play, and then potentially resolve both engages, but instead he's going for the Lilybell play.
There's a window right now where Cameron can tribute the Pankratops to stop a potential Link play as well. There are so many factors involved. I think he's actually forcing the Pankratops by normal summoning that, by special summoning that Lilybell.
But here comes the Pot of Desires, so he's just going to dig for power cards here.
Offers a card, maintain the integrity of the game.
This could be it. If he draws 2 really powerful cards here, this could be the end of game 2.
This could be a huge game changer. Let's hope we can see what he draws. What he banishes. He banishes terraforming 2 monsters. He banishes an assortment of cards that may or may not match. He draws into a evenly matched and a Bell. Both very powerful cards in this matchup for recovery.
Evenly matched. Imagine if that came up earlier.
Yeah.
In the first turn after his opponent made him go first. So he's using the trap cards effect now to link summon during his opponent's turn. Which is quite a risk considering the Cyber Dragon, if he doesn't tribute that Bow Wow, will be able to then just fuse away the Bow Wow. But now he is going to be able to trigger Pranks. Prank Kid's place, which allows now, since a Link summon, I think it makes all his opponent's monsters lose 500 attack. Yeah. And then he's going to chain Bow Wow's effect to add 2 back to his hand, while still having that Prank Tops on the field. Look at the pressure he's using. It's just been there, just like the other game we saw. It just stayed on the field.
And Cameron skillfully removing his own Bow Wow from the extra monster zones.
Oh, but again, the Ghost Bell off the Desires that's the 3rd time now a Prank Kid's monster has tributed for an effect and been negated. Elton having all the outs here in game 2. With 5 minutes left to play, it's getting right down to the wire.
Yeah, and Cameron just not keeping a monster as main monster zone to lose it to a Chimera Tech Mega Fleet Dragon. I think both players are playing it really well with what they have.
Well, you would expect that from players that make it to the top 32 playing their decks. Yeah. Both different decks to the top 3 that we've seen.
Exactly.
So he gets the Roxy's to the field. And he'll also, I think it was a Dropsy, so he'll be gaining 1,000 life points as well if he activates the other one.
Putting him ahead on life once again. But we do have the Lilybell, which can attack directly. But the Pankratops is still there. It's applying so much pressure.
There's no reincarnation in the grave for Elton, I don't believe. So he won't be able to recur that Lilybell either.
Let's see what he can do in this situation.
Double engage, still in hand. He's still just waiting for it. So he's going to go with Cyber Dragon, attacking the 1,500 defense Roxy's.
I believe he's going to attempt to attack directly with Lilybell.
Now, does Cameron let this go through? Or does he actually use the Prank Tops to destroy Lilybell?
I feel like if he lets it go through, then Elton gets to add back Licorice and then summon the Licorice out.
So would he, since he's down on life points anyway, do you think it's worth letting that happen? Then the Candina will hit for 2,000 damage?
Oh, it's tough, man.
This is a tough position for both players to be in right now. Elton, obviously, I think now has the upper hand once again. It's gone back and forth 2 or 3 times throughout the match.
And he still has 2 engages for backup.
The critical parts have been when Call by the Grave and Ghost Bell just negated the extra deck effects of the Prank Kids monsters just to keep those resources going to the point where now Cameron has just run out of resources.
Just over. Oh, he just chooses not to attack.
So he's going for a Link instead, so maybe he wants to resolve those engages.
Yeah. So 3 minutes left on the clock. I wonder what Elton's going through. Maybe he just wants to keep it safe while he's ahead on life points.
So he's going to force this Prank Tops down, so no matter what, this Prank Tops will be used or destroyed and will be leaving the field. So he decides to destroy the Master Cerberus, the Cerberus, sorry, the Nightmare. The end phase, live stage resolves. So he's giving his opponent a turn down, knowing that he's on low resources. Not many
Cameron
draws
for
can
a
get him
turn.
out of this one.
I don't know what he drew.
Does he play Pot of Desires? He decides to pack it up anyway. I think it was a call by the grave off the top. So we're going to go to a game 3, under 3 minutes on the clock. Both decks can manipulate life points in the main phase.
Oh man, this is
Does
crazy.
Cameron go first or second? Surely he has to go first.
You gotta decide. Do you want a battle phase? Do you want not a battle phase? You wanna be? Do you want? If Cameron chooses to go second, he might have to deal with multiple Lycrises.
And that could just be enough to win the game for Elton.
I do believe if time is called while they're still siding, they do a randomized method of deciding who goes first.
So when I versed my top 32 opponent in the Nationals, we went into time while siding for game 3. And I believe that we were told that we had to choose a random method once again.
So this will affect siding. If you side until if the siding time gets called during siding, you don't know if you need to have going first or going second.
That affects Cameron the most, I believe, because he has the choice right now. If that doesn't happen, he has the choice.
I think he's gonna take out the red reboots. Paying half your life points isn't gonna do anything for you.
Especially going first as well, he probably doesn't need it.
I don't think he can do enough damage to mitigate the effects of red reboots halving life points.
We're seeing Elton putting Twin Twisters here, which is interesting. So maybe he just wants to force the fusion spells or destroy any potential side-ins for Cameron, assuming he's going first.
Yeah.
And he may have to take evenly matched out, unfortunately, because if he waits the battle phase to banish cards, he may not be able to do damage another way unless he does have access to Lycoris and then able to get back to Cameron's turn again in the 90 seconds we have left.
As we can see, both players are trying to keep calm. I think Cameron looks a little stressed. Elton's keeping his cool over there.
Well, pile shuffling is quite interesting with this much time left on the clock. He just really wants to make sure he draws well, I guess. So pressure's on, getting down to a minute to go now. We definitely will be starting game 3 in time. I thought he was going for a handshake, but decided to grab his deck instead.
He's wasting no time
Very
at all.
interesting. He wants to get into it.
Yeah.
I think he's going first. I think I've seen him just say he's going first.
Yeah.
So let's see what he can open.
He
I
opens
believe there's at least 2 cards there for Prank Kids.
There's also an instant, but there's no way to fusion summon. Oh wait,
He can instant fuse, but that's 1,000 life points.
Yeah.
And he's going for it.
There's 55 seconds left on the clock. This might cost him. Maybe. Oh, that's a Lampsey. That can deal 500 damage. Maybe there
They
are
can get
so
some
many
back.
factors.
Can he get to dropsies? Can he resolve the effect? And what hand traps could Elton possibly have to stop this?
Yeah, there are so many factors, man. It's crazy.
So if Elton doesn't get a turn here, this could be it. He could be burned, and then Cameron gains 1,000 and wins the game. So we have Doodle Do Chain Link 2, I believe. So the Ash Blossom will come down and negate that. And the Call by the Grave comes down, and Ash Blossom is negated.
I think that's another Ash Blossom in Elton's hand.
Unfortunate for Elton there that the Call by the Grave was so good for him last game, and now it's helping Cameron out instead.
He's summoning Dropsies.
Dropsies is coming to the field. 500-point difference. He could gain 1,000 life points.
That puts him on 8,000 to 7,500. He might just be able to win the match.
That could be the way to do it. As we mentioned before, this could have been how it came down to it, and it is. And he's got the fusion spell in hand now, so he can make a fusion play. He's got 7 seconds left on the clock, so I don't think Elton's going to get a turn here.
Yeah.
So Cameron really thinking about it, making sure. That's time in the round now, so I assume that we've been told. The judges have let them know. So he's just going to activate the effect of his fusion spell.
I believe this is still considered the last turn, last phase in time.
I'm not sure if it's 3 turns or not, but by the sounds of it, I think since they didn't go into time and have a result, which was a draw, they will have to play out this turn, and that could be the end of the match.
I have been told, that's confirmed, they do not do turns. They will finish the current phase, and if they're at the same life points, they will then continue on a turn-by-turn basis.
So he resolves the effect of Dropsies to gain 1,000 life points, and the handshake is offered by Elton. Well played, both players. Very interesting game.
That was really close. It was a really exciting match, and
how lucky are we to get a second feature match in top 32?
Again, Elton, unable to bring it home from South Africa. He played well.
Congratulations to Elton as well, making the top 32 all the way from South Africa.
He's
well done
stationed
with his
in
tricks
Sydney
today.
for a while. His family's from South Africa. So, yeah, he looks defeated. He still looks happy. He's still cheerful. He's still... his spirits aren't defeated.
And obviously Cameron very happy with that, moving Prank Kids into the top 16 to give it another chance to be able to win another YCS. Imagine 2 in a row.
Yeah, then maybe the deck will just become like everyone will play it, everyone will start signing decking for it, and then the dynamic changes again, right? Because
The
you
whole
build
meta
your,
can change without
yeah.
even a ban list or any new sets.
you build your deck based on what you think you'll play against. If there's a lot of prank kids and you'll start calling, you'll see more bells, you'll see more call by the graves, and yeah.
We may try to get Cameron in for an interview, possibly.
Yeah, sure.
Talk to him once again, because he was already on feature once.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, until then, we're actually just getting told that there will be no time, because obviously we had a second feature match, so there will be no time to interview, unfortunately, but we already talked to Cameron once. So congratulations to him. And soon we'll have top 16 for you.
Yep.